Hi there! Welcome back to Quizzeroo! It's time to test your celebrity knowledge again. Can you guess the star by their voice? Only one way to find out. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. Whose voice is this?
Now listen, I don't want to speak ill of
Emma Stone.
a stranger, but I went to get the...
Guess who's talking?
As a kid, I always wanted to play Wolverine.
Keanu Reeves.
So, Wolverine. Let's see, what else do we got?
Do you recognize this voice?
And I think outside, I feel like I would have probably followed in.
Zendaya.
Of my parents and become a teacher. I love kids, I love learning, and I love teaching.
Who's talking?
You guys should move your date. And I was like, we're not moving our date. If you're scared to be...
Margot Robbie.
up against us, then you move your date. And he's like, we're not moving our date. I just think it'd be better for you to move. And I was like,
Whose voice is this?
That is, that was my last day with the accordion. I was very sad to be having...
Daniel Radcliffe.
to say goodbye to it because he gave me his own accordion to practice on for the month.
Can you put a name to this voice?
As I have instructed somebody, the only thing... Who here cannot drive a stick shift? Let's see their hand.
Tom Hanks.
Oh, you're all idiots for crying out loud. What country did you grow up in?
Whose voice is this?
It means I've seen a lot. When this decade began, I was 20 years old.
Taylor Swift.
And I had put out my self-titled debut album when I was 16.
What about this one?
I love horror films. I don't know what it is about, you know, having blood thrown on your face.
Jenna Ortega.
Running around screaming bloody murder, but it really is so therapeutic, so much fun.
Who's talking?
We haven't really done Christmas together. We always talk around the holidays.
Miley Cyrus.
You know, I called her the other day to talk about the show and what we were going to do.
Can you tell who's talking?
These wonderful, these brilliant actors work and develop their characters.
Tom Cruise.
And I was given the freedom to develop mine and the freedom to explore every aspect.
Whose voice is this?
So I carried that sentence with me into adulthood.
Jennifer Aniston.
And I always felt incredibly comfortable giving,
Who's talking?
His name is Tim Walker, and he is wonderful.
Harry Styles.
And one of my favorite photographers I've ever worked with, and I was a big fan of his. So.
Name the celebrity.
So I thought maybe it would be a nice, fun approach to this evening to...
Sandra Bullock.
To maybe do something different. So I Googled myself and...
Do you know who's talking?
Chris actually brought me on stage at one of his shows, and it was really cool.
Justin Bieber.
The first time I got to see what it was like to perform for 8 people staring at their phone.
Whose voice is this?
Wow, I wanted to be an astronaut, archaeologist.
Shakira.
Doctor, nuclear scientist.
Can you tell whose voice this is?
Well, people identify you with that person's voice.
Right.
So when you do the film,
Samuel L. Jackson.
used to know at least like 5 of them because I did so many movies when I first started.
Guess who's talking?
I said, I can wait. It was like, they told me I could wait. It was like lifting literally.
Britney Spears.
Pounds off of me when they said I don't have to do in the show anymore, because I was really, really hard on myself.
Can you recognize the voice?
I don't like that you're showing it to me. It looks like the last thing you see before you die. It's like...
Ryan Gosling.
You just, that's happening, and then you're... It does look like it's the same designer as your dress, though.
Whose voice is this?
She's probably distracting herself with helping with the homework and...
Winona Ryder.
all that, but underneath is immense sorrow.
Guess who's talking?
You know what? It's this is going to sound like a cliche, which it is, but
Leonardo DiCaprio.
this, you know, in a lot of ways, this is not my job. It's like a privilege.
Whose voice is this?
I'm not sure to this day, like, how much verb.
Emily Blunt.
Flippity flops I do to substitute words that are easier.
Can you put a name to the voice?
And I remember asking him, like, how did you do that? He would do this thing where he would kind of simulate laughing.
Tom Holland.
And he would breathe really, really quickly. And that would sort of...
Whose voice is this?
I grew up 20 blocks from here, and I watched every name.
Lady Gaga.
Go up on that marquee, year after year, month after month.
What about this one?
I think you're really going to enjoy this. You basically get 2 shows for the price of 1.
Hugh Grant.
You get an award show very like the Oscars, except everyone's a little bit musclier.
Who's talking?
My daughter is in the audience tonight.
Emma Thompson.
To her, I'd just like to say, sorry.
Can you tell who's talking?
And we really have to dig deep into her beginning and how she became who
Millie Bobby Brown.
she is, with the people around her, and how to gain that.
Can you tell whose voice this is?
No, the rings weren't a good idea. Yes, as a jest.
Sophie Turner.
Sure, they're laughably toe-curlingly lame.
Guess who's talking?
And, you know, that was pretty spunky to kind of think that. But I'd seen...
Paul McCartney.
quite a few of our major stars go to the States and we're going, wow, he's going to...
Do you recognize the voice?
And the great satisfaction of sitting down at a bar for a drink, for a conversation.
Julia Roberts.
To learn, to connect with the world and each other, to share time.
Whose voice is this?
So I bought a camera, and it's pretty sad. And
Bradley Cooper.
I didn't even have anybody to read with, really. Right. And so I bought a little tape recorder, and I would tape.
Which other celebrity do you think has a beautiful voice? Let us know in the comments. See you soon on Quizzeroo.